Hello, everybody. Welcome to day 3 of Who Does This Belong To? Wow, it's only been 3 days, really 2 days. So how cool is that? Seems like there's a lot of great things going on for you all. Thank you so much for your questions and your comments in the Telegram group. It is really helpful for me to hear what's up in your worlds. And one of the things I wanted to talk about based on some of the stuff I just read is any tool in Access Consciousness or in any modality or system or whatever you want to call it. I wouldn't actually call Access either one of those, but any tool that you have can be used as a weapon, and it can also be used as a gift and a possibility. And it's really easy when we bring our minds into play how much they want to actually keep us separate, how much they want to convince us that they are important and valuable. And anytime your mind is active and you're listening to your mind, like you're actually giving it any sort of credence or any value, you are you're strengthening that. You're strengthening the muscle of your mind and your thinking. Anytime you just ignore it, which can be very challenging, I know this very well, and it's something that I've really practiced over the years. But anytime you ignore your mind and you ignore the thoughts and, you recognize they're probably not yours and interesting point of view and all of that, you substantiate and make stronger the space of your being. And all of the tools in Access Consciousness are really designed. Dane here, you guys probably all know him, but in case you're brand new here, he is one of the creators of Access. And he always says that the entire target of Access Consciousness is all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. And so every tool should basically lead you to more of that. That's really, and then it becomes not really about the tools. It actually just becomes about you having the space, the ease, the joy, the glory of you as a different creature, as a creative possibility in the world, as someone who knows something about the future. And everything in the world is organized to keep us from that. Like in this reality, everything in this reality is designed to distract us from the potency of that, to keep us from the potency of that, and to keep us busy with all of the trauma and drama, upset and intrigue. And so it becomes actually, really choice it's a huge tool for us to use. And it kind of, as I mentioned yesterday, there isn't a tool that works unless you're choosing to have the space that it creates. You have to choose to have the ease, joy, and glory. Like the all of life comes with ease and joy and glory. You have to choose to have the space of you, the difference of you, in order for the tools to be effective. And then commit to strengthening the space of that. And so it's like if you go to the gym, you work out, you exercise your body, your muscles are going to get stronger. If you lay on the couch, you're eating junk food all day and doing nothing and just thinking and believing your mind and not engaging in the magic of you, your body will atrophy. And so in a way, we have kind of been lazy with the substantiation of our being and the ease, joy, and glory that we be. And we haven't, every time you use a tool and you choose the space beyond it, you're actually going to the gym, getting stronger. Now, I wanted to address, because somebody said something about, sometimes I want to know who it does belong to. It's not, and I said this before, but who does this belong to isn't really about finding out who it belongs to. That almost all the time is irrelevant. There are moments where it can be helpful to be like, wow, that's my mom's. And then you can kind of undo some stuff with your mom, and that's where the POC and POD comes in. There was a question about that as well. That's where the POC and POD comes in of like, okay, let me destroy and uncreate my relationship with my mom, the personalities that, my mom's personalities that I've taken on and the ones that I've developed in relationship to her and all of that. So there's a lot of, stuff you can do once you realize you're functioning from the space of somebody else, beyond just who does it belong to. What I want to invite you to is the exploration of the space of you. And so if you're wanting to know who it belongs to, look at that, or there's been also some posts that are kind of more a little head trippy with the tool. Like, who does this belong to? Who does this belong to? That's not what it's about. This is about space, energy, space, consciousness, choice, magic, miracles, mysteries, possibility, power, and potency. That's you. And you're way more, you're like everything, but that kind of starts to get into what you be as a being. And when you really function from being more than mind, there's always more that we can have, but it's incredible. But like I said yesterday, you have to be willing to be different, really different. You have to be willing to have no idea what you're doing, why you're doing it, where you're going, but also totally know where you're going. But you couldn't really even put it into words. Be unrelatable to most people in the world, but still be a total contribution to anybody who's willing to receive it. Not have separation, not have autonomy, which is a new one we're working, a new thing that we're clearing, and access, which has been amazing. And maybe I'll talk more about that tomorrow. But all of everywhere we use our mind is where we go to separate ourselves from others, from the rest of the world, but also from ourselves, from our being. And so everything that is, will you destroy and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, POC, POD, shorts, boys, POVADs, and beyonds. So when you use this tool, it's like, what if you can be like, for me, I one of the things I do is I really, I'm more interested in being it, having it just be my awareness all the time, that I'm really, 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 really aware of everything. And I want to just give a shout out to the X-Men tools and classes in Access Consciousness, because the X-Men material, conversations, has been massively liberating for me, because you start to learn more about you in a way, how you function as a different creature, not because we tell you, but because we explore that in X-Men classes, and it depends on who's there. And, there's so many different pieces that unfold this exploration. But it's an exploration into the difference of you, the uniqueness of you, and the power of that. And so that's kind of if you're interested in exploring more of that space, that's a really beautiful resource for you. So with that, but one of the things that for me, when I use this tool, is I use it as an acknowledgement. So this is where you can use it as a gift and a possibility rather than a weapon. Using it as a weapon would be who does it belong to? Well, it belongs to my fucking mom, and then you go into blame and you go into victim, and that does nothing. That does nothing. That's like taking this golden, beautiful, shimmering tool, covering it up with dirt and stomping on it, and being yeah, I know, it's my mom's, So what if it doesn't matter? What if nobody's to blame? What if it's so for me, it's oh, I'm so aware. How did I get so lucky to be so aware? And what can I do and choose to use all of that awareness to my advantage? How did I get so lucky to be so different and to be such a different creature on the planet? And what's possible with that? And if I didn't buy any of this as mine, what would I be capable of? What could I choose? What could I create? What could I ask for? What can I be in the world that is different? So there we have, again, the space. The space. So I invite you to not get distracted by the erroneous stuff that your mind may invite you to, or try to distract you into. It's not really an invitation, it's more of a distraction. Do your best to choose beyond that. Just put on your, big boy, big girl panties and go to the gym. Exercise the muscle of, when I ask this question, is it mine? Who does this belong to? I get to have the space of me. And, if that makes you uncomfortable, well, good. And I also invite you to explore the 5 elements of intimacy, which is in the foundation class, a beautiful, beautiful conversation that allows you even more tools to substantiate the space of you. And to enjoy it, to really enjoy it and appreciate it and have gratitude for it. So that's today. What else is possible? We will talk about bodies. We'll talk about autonomy and relationships, really, because that, and then maybe we'll do some on business and money. It'd be fun to kind of look at some topics around this as well. Please keep the questions coming. Thank you so much. And big shout out to the translators and the team taking care of all the back end pieces of this. You guys are amazing. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much.